What's going on? Katie normally releases videos every fortnight, so why so soon? Well, I've got a secret and I couldn't wait a whole extra week for it. I've been upgrading my home security system. Now, I won't mention the previous brand as there's a lot like them. You know, the ones that introduce subscription features which seem like basic features. Like mine even said they were starting to charge for recording video. This is literally the base feature of a security camera. It's not a premium feature. Anyway, it's my fault really as I failed my own smart home product test. Try it yourself. Just put in best smart home security camera and then the magic words home assistant at the end, and you get an instant bypass of all the noise to the truly best products. And you'll see in Reddit, in forums and Discord channels, the same name pops up again and again and again. Reolink. So I decided to rebuild my system with their products. Their power over Ethernet cameras are awesome. Their NVR is brilliant, but then Reolink asked if I wanted to try out their top secret under NDA product. The product that they had been developing to celebrate and showcase their 15-year anniversary. There was only one logical response. Hell yeah. Let's start with the problem they're solving. You have two big clumps of camera types in the market, wired solutions and wireless solutions. Wired ones have lots of approaches, but I'd go with PoE every time. One cable carrying your power and your data signal, super easy to install, just needs some subtle hole drilling to set up. They have a power supply which lets them do much more. Higher resolution images, features like advanced object recognition, motors that allow the camera to track things. They can also have continuous filming. But there are also weaknesses. The lack of battery can be a flaw. What happens if your power gets cut off? Installation is also a much more complex task. The need to run wires everywhere dramatically limits where you can install them. Wireless ones work off batteries and use Wi-Fi, which immediately means you can just plonk them wherever you want and you're away. Installation couldn't be easier. They are also more resilient in power outages as their battery can allow local recording. But wireless cameras are always limited in their features as they are constantly having to fight the balance of battery life with capability. They do this by stripping out the normal features like the ability to continuously record, and instead they use PIRs to trigger recording when they detect movement. This also means they usually miss the main moment, so you might see the delivery man walking away from your house as it didn't trigger at the start. They also can't do things like advanced sensor processing. I really like the fact that my PoE Reolinks have things like colour night vision. And they can also do things like pan and tilt, which means it can follow people for even better footage. But let's be clear, it also just looks awesome. It's a tracking robot. So this has always been the problem, balancing the ease of install with the ease of use. But this is where this little beast comes in. I think I'm officially allowed to tell you about this now. So this is the Altas PT Ultra. Reolink have taken a wired camera and a wireless camera, put them in a room, turned on some romantic music, and look what popped out 9 months later. They've somehow combined the best of both worlds, and the result is fantastic. Right, let's nerd out a bit to understand this. Immediately you'll see it's got all the look and feel of a heavyweight camera, but it's not. This is battery and Wi-Fi connected, so you can put this anywhere. They've achieved this with some super clever approaches. Firstly, they've just gone bonkers with the battery. Completely insane. This is 20,000 milliamp hours, which is like twice anything else that I can see. But this is important as it allows them to start doing stuff that just would never be possible otherwise. Like 4K ultra high definition continuous recording. None of that spotty PIR clips like other battery cams. I could turn this camera on and it could non-stop record 4K footage for the whole day for 8 solid days or nights before I'd start to wonder about battery levels. But even if you're away for more than 8 days, there's a solution to that, which I'll come back to, which will let it record forever. Speaking of the night, this has colour night vision too. Yes, it can see in colour in the night. So you can get all the cool features that are normally held on only high-end wired solutions. And yes, as a result, it does smart detection of people, cars, animals, escaping robots, and loads more. And all that power can also be applied to motors too, so it tracks automatically. Just think how cool this is. Because it's wireless, you could just stick it in the middle of your garden or up a tree or wherever, and it can track 360 degrees. And it totally reminds me of those turrets in Portal 2. I can set up 64 guard points around its field of view, and it constantly scans the area for baddies, birdies, or beasties, or single players spawning in the level. And obviously, with that massive battery, it has no problem at all hitting intruders with a bright spotlight or a noisy siren. Another less obvious feature is that they've got a full dual band Wi-Fi 6 chipset in here. So it allows seamless streaming, low latency, basically none of that buffering that you always get with battery cameras. To all intents and purposes, this acts like a wired camera. And putting this together, it just unleashes a new wave of capability. It's a different sort of class of camera. It's the best bits of a battery and wired camera combined. This is a pretty radical innovation to have landed, so congratulations to Reolink. And that also gives you plenty of time to create the full Portal 2 Sentry drone for the next 15 years. Yes, I want lasers. But to move to a more serious note, don't you dare let that success start making you a corporate monster, or I and the entire Home Assistant community will come and beat you with sticks. We want you to remain the shining light of the smart home world, with all the innovation, local access and subscription-free options that make you great. Going back to the 8-day battery power, if you really want to take the mickey, you can just add a solar panel to this, which means with 10 minutes, yes, only 10 minutes of solar charging, you can add 24 hours of battery. The install is a bit tricky though, because you do have to take this USB-C cable and put it in here. But the most exciting thing about disruptive tech like this is how it bursts open a whole new world of uses for security cameras. Indeed, the name security cam looks increasingly inadequate, given that it can be instantly used way beyond security. Oh, I think I'm having an infographic. Cameras like this can be useful not just for stopping people getting in, but also monitoring movements going out. I have got a wonderful nephew who is autistic, and he's given his mum and dad some terrible frights over the last year, where he's wandered out of the house on his own in the night. This camera would be so easy to drop in the hall and use to trigger alerts and alarms and more to let you know where there's movement. Not just that, she has pets, so you could use the AI smarts to not wake you up if the cats are padding around, but to alert only if a person is spotted. This is as much about peace of mind as it is about anything else. It means you can sleep far better knowing that you've got a state-of-the-art system keeping an eye out for you. At the other end of the age spectrum, you may have loved ones who are elderly or with health issues like dementia. Just yesterday I was actually speaking to someone whose aunt has dementia and she's wandered out. These cameras provide a lifeline and can alert you when someone needs help, such as if they leave the house when they shouldn't. Have you ever told your kids that they can have a party but they should keep out of the drinks cupboard? Well, you could just drop this in place and you're sorted. Let them have fun, but guard against too much mischief. As Reolink are so local friendly, I'm going to play with frigate integrations. So I can use facial and license plate recognition capabilities to activate a whole host of other smart tech when someone arrives. Or more importantly, I'm planning to play custom sounds when different people arrive. Who wouldn't be perked up by an enthusiastic round of applause when they get home, or a fanfare of trumpets? I had some wonderful swallows in my barbecue zone that were nesting. They were wonderful apart from the little mess that they made on the worktop, but this would be so easy to set up a temporary camera mount and capture some amazing footage of these birds in action. And we're entering autumn in Scotland, where the skies erupt with blazing sunsets of colours. I got some amazing footage of the Northern Lights a few weeks ago, and these are amazing tools to capture cool time lapses and more. Think about this versus a standard camera. These are rainproof, dustproof, batteries last for days and days, indeed forever with the solar panel. And you could go and do a month-long time lapse of the sky if you wanted, which would just take seconds to set up. You could also record plant growth for the entire season. I am totally going to install Reolink cameras in my upcoming FarmBot build, and Patreons will know how awesome this is going to be. But this will let me monitor plant growth with time lapses and, most importantly, spot what is eating my plants. Now this would be awesome to create constant time lapses of prints, much better than the fairly pokey inbuilt recordings, but it'd also allow you to monitor all your printers if you happen to have a few. Not just that, but you can position behind to monitor filament reels to see how much is left. Is that print going to annoyingly run out overnight? And of course, it gives you the option of security. If you're into slow and low cooking, then this would be great for monitoring your smoker and keeping an eye on things. And if you're having work done in your house, you can just set up a camera to keep an eye on exactly what they're doing to your boiler, plumbing and more. With its 4K goodness, it also can create lovely time lapses or shots of parties, weddings or events. I'm also going to use this as a standard camera to track long projects on my channel, like my secret build that I've got going on. It's just so easy to just stick it somewhere and have it record for days. For this reason, I've actually already started designing a little 3D printed mount for it that lets me just drop it on surfaces or mount it to tripods and more. So Reolink, go give those engineers a pat on the back. This is a brilliant step forward and it's an awesome enhancement to your day-to-day life. The possibilities are endless with such a versatile device, and I've grown rather fond of him already. Right, brainiacs out there, give me some more ideas in the comments about cool ways that I can use this. If you want to find out more, it's literally just out, so I'll add links in the description to all the details. And other than that, I'm off to film with my little buddy. Bye for now, folks.